Today, I want to show you how to mix transparent pens with some opaque pens for some really cool effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plain piece of stationery and I'm going to transform it into something kind of cool. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my transparent pens, and they have these little caps on them when you buy them that just keeps the ink in. And I'm going to start it out on a piece of test paper just to make sure the ink is flowing, because these are super juicy pens and they really just roll around. It's almost like painting, but with the control of a pen tip, which is one of the things that I love about them. Now you can mix colors. So I have kind of a light blue, and I'm just going to pull the cap off that, test it, and now I can mix in this kind of darker blue, and you can see that you get a kind of seamless mix of the two. And I just continue the zen of coloring, relaxing and having a good time and letting my pen do all the work. And once it is all colored in, it's going to look a little something like this. And now I want to bring back some of the details of that rose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an opaque pen. And again, I just remove the little cap, get that ink flowing on my paper. And now I'm simply going to trace the outline here first, and then I just add in the little circle and curlicue that was on the original just back in, and you can see that it's already getting quite dimensional. And I would do the same exact thing now with the leaves, again getting my ink started, and then I just go right over the surface. So now what I have is I have two different dimensional inks. One is matte and one is transparent and glossy, and they really combine to create stationery that I think is unique. You certainly won't see anybody else with this stationery. It's yours and yours alone. And then I can even just do the outline. It adds a little bit of handmade to the whole thing. And then the pièce de résistance, the final part that makes it totally fabulous, is I've just added a strip of paper. I cut it from this large sheet of 12 by 12 paper. You can see I have a little strip here, and I would just add it to the bottom of my stationery. And you know, handmade notes are one of those things that are so rare nowadays, and you really don't see a lot of letters. I think this is a great thing to teach your kids to do, to bring out some of their own writing and send a thank you or something like that. Okay. On to the next one, which is this really cool Valentine. And you can see this is just a store-bought card, and it's pretty, but it's not pretty enough. So I am going to take a transparent pen. I'm going to start the ink flowing, and then I'm just going to pick a couple of these violets, or are they, I'm not really up on my flowers, I think they're violets, to color in. Maybe they're posies. And you really can't mess up because it's transparent. What's going to happen is the ink just goes over what's there and you can see through it, which I think makes it really, really easy. And you can see I'm not doing every flower. I'm just doing some of the flowers. But what a difference just those 4 flowers make. And then of course with the opaque pen, one of the things that I can do is I can go into even a really dark area like this purple, and wow, look how that white, those white dots just stand right out immediately. So it looks like I've done a handmade card as opposed to bought a store-bought card. And again, I think, you know, taking a little time and effort makes a big difference, but this way you don't have to think about the design or worry about anything. All you're doing is just coloring. It's like a coloring book come to life. And you can see I'm coloring in the letters. I'm doing all sorts of fun stuff here, no problem. And I can even make those letters two-tone if I want. Because who doesn't like a two-tone letter? I know that I do. Isn't that fun and easy too? Okay, and you can see the final result here is really beautiful. And I think, again, the transparency, the shine, and the matte, it's the contrast of the two together that really makes things pop and really go well together. So our final little card that we're doing right here is I found these really plain embossed cards in my local drugstore. And this is a raised design. But one of the nice things about these pens is that you can use them on even a surface that's really shiny. It doesn't have to be, you know, a traditional paper. This will work on a super slick surface. And so now here you go. I'm just coloring in each of these flowers, taking some time, and I could customize this. This is a thank you card. Maybe I'm saying thank you for a wedding gift. I could use my wedding colors or whatever else it is that I wanted. And I can mix in as many colors as I needed. You know, the thing is, using these transparent products, it just makes it so easy because you never can have a mistake because you're going right over the existing line. I hope this gave you some good ideas what to do with your transparent and your opaque pens, and we'll be right back.